Hello there and welcome to EPOS Ready and our demonstration of the cloud-based back office. We're going to highlight now on the reporting section just to give you an overview of what is available through the standard reports within the actual cloud-based system itself. What you'll see down the left-hand side here is all the different elements of what makes up the actual back office. If we go into the reporting, what it drops down here is, again, on the preset periods we can choose. We can then select the information or go through the reporting process and find exactly what information we want to ascertain and get from the data. What you'll see on here, so everything is separated into various sections. So you have your clerk time and attendance, you have clerk reports, you have certain custom reports, we have customer reports if you're running things like loyalty. You have departments reports with graphical information, both bar and pie charts. The financial report, so batch reports and everything like that. PLU sales, transaction key, PLU reports, stock control reports, and then also the new reports that are being developed as things are moving on with the actual industry and with the actual structure of the system at any one time. If we go back up to the top, and we'll start with something like your clerk time and attendance. Now, what the system allows you to do is have your staff clocking in and clocking out through the front end of the till system, and this information then populates within here so that you can make adjustments and obviously export that data to a payroll package. So if we looked at something like the adjust time report here, what it will allow you to do is find the member of staff on the corresponding date range or dates we were looking at, and we can see that this person clocks out at a certain time, clocks in at a certain time, and we can make and edit these times. So we can change the date, we can change the time, and then we obviously can give a reason for that just to make sure that it all corresponds. So it may be that you would change this one to definitely around about 11 o'clock. Okay. Once that's done, you then would go to a monthly summary or a weekly summary to give you your total wage. Now, when you set up your employees, what you can do is you can put in there their pay rates, which will automatically work out, based on the number of hours they've worked, how much their total wage is. These are exportable to CSV or view as a PDF or just print the report, whichever may be the case and whichever you need. As we scroll down the list of the reports available, we then go into the clerk section and we can look at other time and attendance reports, or also things like PLU or clerk sales. If we were to click on this one, what we will see here is this guy, Philip Larkin, the amount of products that he sold within the relevant department and how many are sold and the value of. And again, we can navigate this down by date range or by time range, or we can just physically look at certain members of staff if we wish to see exactly what's going on. As we continue down, we then have things like your customer report. So if you're doing customer loyalty, you might want to look at who your top customers are, who gets the most discount, who's spent the most in the last month, so you can really analyze what's going on, any transaction history with detail. But if we look at the top customer sales, so what you'll see here is customer ID, the account number, the name of the customer, how many sales they've had, what items or number of items they bought, and the value that they've spent within the business over that period. You can search it by actual customer and again make the necessary changes to the date range if need be. Going back to something like customer transaction history with detail, this will then break it down as in dates that they've come in, items that they've purchased and how they paid, any discount they've accrued and everything like that. The balance adjust is if they've got an account with credit in, it will obviously readjust this down, and as we go further down to the bottom, you would then have the totals to work it all out for you if they did actually owe you any money. But what you can see on this is that all of these are paid for as and when the customer has purchased the items and how they paid. As we continue to scroll down the reporting side of it here, and obviously there are around about 160 different reports, so you can get a lot of information that might be required within the business. We then get to the financial section. So certain things that you might want to look at on here could be, for instance, a batch report, which will give you information very much similar to an X and a Z read that you would get from the till. So all of your net sales and your discounts, how many covers you've served, what your average spend is, how the money has been taken, any error corrects or voids or sales that are, or refunds or anything like that. Your department sales, your clerk sales. So it gives you a sort of total overview of everything that's going on. Again, exportable and view as PDF however we want to do. We can then drill it down to certain pricing levels. We can look at certain locations, so maybe upstairs or downstairs, or look at physical terminals within the business. Other financial reports could be something like your tax sales. Very important, obviously, to understand what sales we've done and also what is VATable. So we have a nice little breakdown here. We have up to 9 different tax rates available, so you've got everything enough ability to be able to cope with what's required for the business. But what we'll see here is obviously amount of, the net amount, and what the tax is due and payable accordingly. Okay, over the date range. 7-day cash, so we can break down what's been taken on every period. So if we just look at last week and change that, what it will then do, it will then highlight the details in terms of net sales for each individual day and break it all down. When there's a lot of data here, sometimes it's a little bit harder to view, but obviously as you view it as a PDF or export it, you'll be able to see the information a lot clearer as you go. Hourly sales, so very much was similar on the dashboard. It gives you the what's been sold over the period, amounts, number of sales, how many items, what the average spend was, and a breakdown, a percentage total of the business and how it's all made up. So it gives you a lot of detail and a lot of information. Then as we continue further down, we then have PLU sales, so we could look at average sales by day or by hour. So again, with this report, if we open up, we can then see individual days, individual amounts, which days are busier than others, when are we taking more money at certain days of the week, and obviously we can start to understand reasons for that. We then go further down and we can look at PLU sales by department or by group, and this will also give us, if we put the margins in or the cost price in, it will give you the margin reports. So if I just drill this down to look at, for instance, just soft drinks, which will refresh the data for me, what I'll see here is I've got the items, I've got the average cost, which would be what it costs the business to produce and sell these items. The line cost, so it would be this quantity times the £1.50 to get this value here. Give you the value in gross and also the profit they made and obviously the percentage of what it is, and then a percentage across the board. So you can really start to drill down and work out how everything is being made up in terms of profit margins. As we scroll further down, there are a lot of other different reports. So we have top 20 sellers by quantity, by profit, and if we set everything up with relevant cost price, this will give you a lot of good information and can be specific for certain periods or certain times of the year. We can then go into the stock control side of it. This will be more of a demonstration for another slide that we do, where we go into the actual stock information and work out how you can do stock management and full sort of stock movement within the system. The new reports engine gives you reports that are being developed at any one time, because the product is always developing and going forward with the industry to give more and further information. Hopefully this has given you an overview of the kind of reports that are available within the system. As I say, there are around about 160, so there's a lot of information available there. But if you wish to speak to us about seeing more on this, please give us a call or visit the website. And thank you very much for your time.